All right, now I'm getting ready to start rolling up my quilt. I think I've got at least most of the dust off of the machine here. I want to get my machine completely out of the way to get ready to start rolling this quilt. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this and just flip it. Flip it over. Flip this over. Flip it all over. And I want to make sure I have a pretty good channel of fabric in the middle. So I'm going to add a little more in down this middle, trying to keep it straight. We're going to start rolling and see how it goes here. And trust me, I have rolled up my quilt and had to unroll it and repin it and roll it like 3 different times to get it straight. This is a very important step. So if you roll it and it doesn't look right and it's not laying the way you want it to, unroll it and do it again. You might have to do it a couple of times, and there's nothing wrong with that if you do. All right, let me make sure I've engaged my latch here on my bar. And I'm just going to start rolling up. Just get, and you also want to get the wrinkles as much as you can out of your leader cloth. I have a pretty big wrinkle right here. At some point I'm going to have to just get steamed out. But you want your leader cloth straight, because that's the first step in making sure your backing is straight. So just kind of smooth that out some. Get the backing going. All right. And just gonna kind of make sure it's going on straight. I don't feel like these little wrinkles right here. I don't want any of that. Just gonna kind of shift them out just slightly and lightly. I'm not trying to stretch my fabric. Just want to get it nice and smooth. And that's actually a wrinkle in my leader cloth, which will be okay. It's just a small little wrinkle there. As long as the backing is straight. So I'm going to roll it a couple of times, and this is Valerie's method. Roll it a couple of times, run your hand down it just to smooth it really lightly. Roll it a couple of times, and smooth it. Roll it a couple of times and smooth it. And you're going to do this all the way till you get it where you want it laying on the other side. And you can see I'm not straight here, but it's because I cut my backing fabric crooked. But I still have plenty. That's why you want an extra 10 inches, because you'll have a little bit of give where I didn't cut it perfectly straight. But it's going on the machine straight. In the quilting area, the area where you're actually going to be quilting. All right, so I've got a nice big wrinkle here. I'm not worried about the wrinkle right now. I'm going to steam that out before I get ready to load my quilt. Just going to smooth. It's still going on straight, even if it's got a wrinkle in it. All right, so I need to come back over to the front and put some more in the channel so I'm not stretching it as I'm loading it, because right now this would be stretching. So we're going to put a little more, keeping it straight. So now it's kind of straight. And I'm looking to where my backing is at. It's almost to where I want it for pinning to the leader cloth in the front. So I'm going to get it about right there. So if you can see on the front, here's my leader cloth I'm going to pin to. And another little warning I will give you is be sure you're pinning it to the correct leader cloth. I pinned my backing one time to the cloth that's designed for your top fabric. Accidentally pinned the entire thing. Had to go back and unpin it because I pinned it in the wrong spot. So be sure you're at the right place for pinning. And want a little bit of overhang. And I can also roll this up just slightly if I need to, but I'm just going to leave it right there. So I'm going to go roll the rest of my backing fabric up to get ready to pin this. So let's just get over here, roll it a couple more times. This is a longer process. Sometimes loading the quilt takes longer than quilting the quilt, but if you want your quilts to come out nice, this is this process. All right, so I've kind of got it about where I'm happy with it. We're going to leave that. we're going to come around and get ready to start pinning the front. So I took another cue from Valerie, and I went to Harbor Freight, and y'all excuse the junk on my floor. My room needs to be cleaned and swept. But I went to Harbor Freight and got some of these long magnets. So, and I pinched my finger really badly last weekend, so I want to be careful that I don't do that again. That was painful. If I can separate these magnets. There we go. I'm going to take about 3 of them. All right, and I got them separated, and I'm going to just place the magnets on top of the backing fabric. Actually, I'm probably going to need 4. I think I bought 6 just to make sure I had enough, so I got 1 more. We're going to grab. I also threw my back out yesterday, so I'm struggling to bend over, but we'll make it work. Okay. And the last one. So what this does is it helps hold this backing fabric so that I don't accidentally shift it when I'm getting ready to pin it. So my leader cloth is down here. Probably have my backing fabric a little bit lower than I need it to for my leader cloth. So I'm going to adjust. So I need to take the magnets back off. So let's do that really quick. I should have checked that first. I apologize. I don't want these magnets sticking to each other because then I'll have to worry about trying to separate them again. So I'm just going to place them. All right, let me get my leader cloth. Instead of moving my backing fabric, I'm going to just move my leader cloth down a little bit and make sure my backing fabric is straight again. So that's better. A little better where I want it to meet. Maybe adjust just slightly. All right, I think I'm happier with that. That'll be a little bit easier to pin. So let me put my magnets back on. Grab the other 2. Alright, so this just keeps me from getting my backing fabric crooked when I'm trying to get it pinned. So I'm going to go and I'm going to pin this to my leader cloth. I will not do this on camera because, again, you don't need to sit here and just watch me stick pins. But I'm going to do the thing. I'm kind of semi-starting in the middle, and I'm going to pin all the way to the left. Then I'm going to come back and pin all the way to the right. And then once I get that done, I'll come back and we'll show you the next steps.